Start things off tonight. Probably the hardest working guy I know, Win Daily, SiriusXM, Heat Ratio Sports, Rise and React Media, his PR company. It is Tony Cutillo, plus having, I think, the best basement I've ever seen. Tony, how are you, pal? Welcome back to the show.
I'm great, Jason. Thanks for having me. You're too kind. You're too kind.
It's always good to see you, my friend. All right, I want to start with the Sixers. How much blame do you put on Joel Embiid for the Celtics series, and how do you handle Embiid moving forward?
That's the million-dollar question, right? Nick Nurse is going to have to answer that. Listen, man, as much as I want to blame Joel Embiid, I think it's an organizational failure. It's been like that for the last 5 or 6 years. I mean, the process, I think, did work as much as people think it didn't, but we just had the wrong pieces in place, and we traded the pieces that we did get that should have worked away. So, unfortunately, Joel still has to grow up a little bit, show a little more heart and less quit, and we'll see what happens in this offseason.
No, you're so right. The process did work. It was just handled very poorly, right?
Exactly. I mean, you have guys that we could have needed so much. Guys like Mikal Bridges, right? I mean, we still jump through loops over what that trade was. I have no idea. You have guys like Charles Bassey that are developing in San Antonio. Isaiah Joe. We've had these guys, and we just traded them away, Jason.
So let me ask you this. So you're Daryl Morey, okay? We're putting you in the president's chair. Next year, does Harden come back?
I'll be honest with you. I hope not.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Listen, we can't pay this guy. We can't. Unfortunately, it's a love-hate relationship, right? We know that he can help us, but what we saw is he's absolutely downgraded his game a little bit, and he's going to get paid an astronomical amount of money that's going to hamstring us going forward. So I think we have to find another direction. What that is, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it's a lot of wait and see. All right, let's move to hockey. Dan Briere makes his first trade as GM. Ivan Provorov is out. I mean, this was a blockbuster, man. Flyers get some draft picks. They get defenseman Sean Walker and goaltender Cal Peterson from the Kings. So overall, what do you think of the deal?
I absolutely love it. Finally, listen, this Flyers fan base needed some energy injected into it, and this is the way you do it. I mean, I don't want to say process, but you did have to rip this down and build it back up. It just wasn't working, and ironically, Jason, how many years have we said we needed a goaltender? We get one in Carter Hart. It looks like he may be on the move too. Yeah. But unfortunately, you got to give to get. So I actually like the move, and I like it going forward.
You know, I had Keith Jones on the show last week, Tony, and we talked about how, this past season, the crowds were not going to the Wells Fargo Center. There was a night where the Ranger fans took over the building. You and I, we're contemporaries. You remember when the Flyers missed the playoffs 5 straight years, but the Spectrum was still sold out every night.
Yeah, listen, the orange and black was still represented, but they feel it, right? The fan base feels it. That could be the most loyal fan base in Philadelphia, to be honest with you. People say the Eagles, but it actually could be the Flyers. And for those fans to quit on the team, that shows a lot.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. All right, you mentioned Carter Hart. If you're Briere, do you trade him?
I think you have to. Right, I think you have to. You know what's funny, Jason? This pivots back to the Sixers question. Do you trade Tyrese Maxey? Do you want to? I don't know. Right, you have these 2 young pieces in this town that might be the best assets that you have. So you really have to figure out if you can't make it work. And I think the Sixers have more opportunity to make it work than the Flyers. So I think he's going to absolutely have to be given away.
All right, got about a minute left. A quick Phillies question for you. The Phillies, going into tonight's game, won 4 straight. Not against the best competition. Are you encouraged at all? Or not really because of who they're playing?
I am. I'm very encouraged. I love the way Castellanos was playing. I love the corner that Trey Turner has turned. I love Schwarber getting hot again. But, Jason, it's all about the pitching. We have to have pitching. So seeing Nola go out, almost a no-hitter, that was encouraging.
Oh, no doubt about that. All right, so I went down the laundry list of things you're doing, my friend. Real quick, go through that before we let you go tonight. Where can folks hear you, and what are you doing?
You can see me daily on Win Daily, windailysports.com. You can catch me on SiriusXM on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And everybody always asks, how do you get started? How do you do this kind of thing? Follow me at Rise and React Media. That is with a Z. And we give you all the helpful tools, whether you're a real estate agent, lawyer, sports media guy, doesn't matter. Help you send you in the right direction.
All right, Tony, thanks for joining us tonight, buddy. Really appreciate it. We'll talk soon.